Welcome back to Cheche, the program where opinion counts. Today's guest is police spokesman Charles Owino, and we started the conversation here on Cheche talking about the police service and how it works. And a lot of our viewers have responded with examples of their own interactions with the police. Here's one from yesterday. We will always run away from police. Yesterday morning, traffic cops arrested a matatu I had boarded. To avoid getting late for work, I and some ladies alighted to seek other means. A cop came to us, arrested us, claiming we were excess passage or baggage? Passengers. And even if not excess, we alighted at a place which is not a designated stage. We were forced into a Land Cruiser. We pleaded with them and tried to explain, but they became arrogant. Actually, one of them verbally insulted the lady. We were taken to Pangani police station, and those who refused to bribe were taken to court. How do you think I will forever feel about the Kenyan police?
Yeah.
That is your police.
Yes. They do such things.
Now, there are many more interesting things. You remember we were trying one day to say that...
No, respond to this viewer.
He's basically saying that is unacceptable.
Yes, this is what
no.
happened yesterday.
Yeah.
What does this person do?
You see what happens is, I cannot be able to judge from the lady's statement. One, I can be able to admit that could be some bribed and were not taken to court. But the fact that they were excess, you know, we need to have some sense of discipline. In this country, we are not. The matatu is supposed to carry 14 or supposed to carry 29.
But we don't know that they were excess. They were told that they were excess. We don't know that
that is according to her. And even if we move to the road now, just now, you'll find our matatus are carrying excess.
Yeah, I mean, they break many regulations.
It is
not true. I mean, there are certain things that the police are doing routinely. I mean, that I can even cite for you. This Saturday, myself and my friends had left town. They were going home. They got into a matatu. They were dropped by the road. As they began walking to the house, a Land Rover came by, a police vehicle rather, and they were arrested and taken to cell in Buruburu.
For what offense?
Loitering.
Yes.
It's midnight. And they were locked up to the next day, 11 o'clock. They said, you know, you
where were they?
On Outer Ring Road, Moja, you know, and they're taken to Buru.
They were not dropped at home. They were dropped on the road.
Matatus drop you on the road. You go home. Then you are arrested right there. No offense. You were taken in. To a bond, 4,000 or 2,000 before you go home. Now, and you were present. No, I wasn't present. But so this is what you are told. Of course. So you cannot know whether they're telling me what have we done. Anyway, number one, it is wrong to act adversely against people, and we have had cases where people have made mistakes and have acted adversely. Number two, it is also wrong to be what we call a crime breeder.
Which is what?
You know, there are times you find you meet somebody, I don't know. You meet somebody in a very bad place, walking alone. Though procedurally, we are not supposed to, procedurally, even a drunkard, we are not supposed to arrest and even take to court. What happens is when you meet a drunkard, you take him, if you cannot get his home, you take him to the nearest police station. In the morning, you release him. I've been a station commander. The people who I worked for in Kericho can vouch for that. I never took drunkards to court. I used to go for a soup. I find you drunk and walking at night, and I cannot reach your home in Nainamoy. I'll take you to the police station. But you know, you normally add that other thing, and disorderly, so that you create an I can vouch for that. I've been a station commander. I used to carry out soups, and the people I could not reach, take to their homes because I did not even have a police vehicle. I used to take them to the police station, and they can vouch for me, and in the morning release them. And that is how we use. Who tells you they can't get their homes by themselves? You find me going to my home at night. Listen, maybe I'm drunk or I'm not drunk at all. You find me outside the bar or somewhere outside the bar. Not outside the bar, Mutegi. I don't know where your home is. Excuse me. No. Let me tell you. And I'm telling you this for free. I can't deny this. Mutegi, I find you by the roadside. Yeah. At night. Yes. You are drunk, staggering. I don't know where I cannot make you reach your home or anything. I'll take you to the police station. I don't go to the police station. I want to go home. I know my home. But can you afford a taxi to take you home? Home. No, I cannot allow you to walk home.
It's not your business.
Excuse me. If I don't have...
So isn't this the problem then? Isn't this the problem? Because we're laughing about this, about drunken disorderly behavior. But then you come to the enforced disappearances.
Yes.
Okay? And then you say that in addition to being drunk and disorderly, you know, you also belong to an armed group. And then your body shows up somewhere. And then you tell us, you know, we will investigate.
Let me tell you. We cannot be everywhere.
You cannot be everywhere, but the question that we asked you before the break was there any evidence of the police acknowledging excessive behavior in certain instances? And you responded to that, but you can't tell us that when it comes to the issue of terror, the efforts against terror, that the police have ever acknowledged any wrongdoing in their handling of suspects.
No, we have acknowledged. I would sincerely tell you, and you know, sometimes we don't come out in the open to explain certain adverse actions that we have taken against officers who have even tortured. I've told you we are dealing with a very delicate situation of radicalization and inducting younger people or people of a certain faith into revenge, because we know people would always want to revenge. So at times we take very adverse actions against police officers, but we don't bring it out to the public. And I can tell you for sure.
But wouldn't that help restore confidence?
The problem is that Mr. Winner is not giving us any one incident that can give confidence to the public. That
yes.
I'll give you
happen.
We have
graphics.
I can assure you, next time I come, and even before I come, I'll be able to give. You know, we would also want to improve,
because the public, you know, has got lots of cases, incidents where people disappeared, died allegedly in police hands, or went missing. I mean, you know the Mombasa case of Ahmed, arrested in the soup on the mosque, put on a lorry. The story became that the guy jumped off and disappeared. But of course the public didn't believe this. We end up with an inquest that takes and drains the family even longer. When, you know, he was taken somewhere and perhaps exterminated. The story is right now going on with the human rights sector investigators is that the northern Kenya, people are being identified, taken when no one notices, and they'll never be seen again. Those disappearances.
We want more engagement on that. We would want them to come forward. I've told you we are very lucky that currently we have an independent team. We want more direct engagement. We don't want just people shouting on podiums.
But then doesn't that come back to the question about what you will admit, whether you will admit any wrongdoing? Because this is not the first instance in Kenya's history that we've had the police accused of disappearing people. And we've never heard any sort of accountability, justice, truth come out of these.
I'm saying this clearly, that we are a lucky country that through the constitution that came into place, we have an external independent team. Even if I tell you somebody jumped out of the lorry, you won't believe me. So the best thing is to engage IPOA more. And IPOA will come up with very good reports that will be able to sort out most of these questions that you have.
IPOA will come in where there is clear visible police action that is illegal or excessive. In police stations or in arrests or in shootings which can be witnessed. We're talking about disappearances where people cannot, police deny we are the ones who took that person. The family knows those people who came saying they were police or behaved like police. IPOA can't help.
And that is why I said that we need to come up with a system as a society where persons who come to arrest can be identified or must be identified before they pick anybody away. It's not our duty alone. You know, most of the laws or most of the regulations originate from somewhere. Our duty is to enforce. And if you learn that there is a disconnect where probably policemen are picking people and killing them, then you must think out of the box and say, what are the best things that we can do? For example, we gave a window in law that we would have county policing committees or authorities where the governor would chair, there would be a number of people involved. And you know, you can come up with regulations and say, in our county, we want a system where, as a regional commander or as a county commander or as an OCS, we want a situation where anybody coming to make an arrest in a home, in a village, in an estate, must be properly identified before he moves away with the person. And it remains a regulation. And anybody who wants to...
But it's not followed. I mean, those raids by police are normally with so much force that nobody has opportunity to even resist or ask questions.
Let me tell you.
Are the police following those regulations?
You can never commit a crime and expect to be exposed. You would not want. You would want to hide yourself, isn't it? So we must get a system that is going to prevent this in case it happens. It's not just a matter, because for example, if now we sit and we say, oh, police are picking people and killing people, you expect, if today, for example, as an individual police officer, I pick you and I kill you, do you expect me to admit that I did that? So what do? We must therefore now come with a system that will ensure that nobody can come, either a policeman or a masquerader.
But the law is there.
The law is there.
And the police are breaking the law.
What does the law say? Why assuming it's just the police?
When the police come to arrest you, they should identify themselves.
Yes.
Everybody knows that's the procedure, but we know those disappearances are being enforced in a manner that completely breaches those proceders.
Let Mutegi say something. I can see here something.
No, hang on. You're trying to get away from the issue. Because think about Operation Usalama Watch and the number of people who say that the police came into their homes, identified themselves, and then requested something in order to not to arrest them. Think about the people who were confined in Kasarani, and a lot of them were there because they could not bribe their way out. What would you say to that? Where are the investigations then?
I've said very clearly that as a service, we must also be managed externally. And if people are involved, especially people who give bribes, many people bribe.
But you've not answered the questions from our viewers. I'll give you another one. I was arrested and handcuffed by the GSC outside my hotel for loitering and threatened with kuwekelewa makosa nyingi for being mjeuri. Released moments later, I tweeted the IG with details of the Land Cruiser registration number, but no action has been taken 3 months on. We gave you the example of someone who was taken into, apprehended by the police yesterday from a matatu. You've dismissed them.
I've not missed.
Yes, you've dismissed them.
No. Let me ask you. You see, these are allegations that are made by individuals who are not here. I also don't have time within the studio to confirm from maybe the station commander
what you could say to these people is, this is my number, or email me on this address. I will follow it up personally and get back to you. But no, with David, you accused him of not being there when his friends were
I didn't accuse him. I gave an example.
No, you said that he was not there. So what he was telling you could not be verified. He was telling you something based on hearsay. You dismissed the person who was accused of being an excess passenger. You're also dismissing this person. You haven't in any instance tried to say
what she has said amounts to what we call police impunity. What she has just said. And your response is that
look, Makali,
these things can be happening, Makali, but there is nothing we can do.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
You would accuse me of not doing anything if I step out of this place with a list of allegations and I don't follow up. But I would be wrong to condemn my officers on studio on allegations which I have not verified. I'm an officer of the law.
Nobody's asking
my
you to condemn your
duty is to enforce laws and regulations, and I must act professional. So you don't expect me to condemn my officers here. My colleagues.
What I would expect you to do, though, would be to take the circumstances and provide the normal procedure that would have been followed. And then the person who listens that will know, okay, then that must have been breached, which might have ended up in this. You know, because if somebody thinks they were not overloaded, then you tell them no. In that case, if there's an overload, this is what the police would ordinarily do. So somebody sees maybe there's nothing wrong, the police did. Because that's an educational function.
For your information, if for example you are in a vehicle and a police officer comes and claims that you are overloaded, I think the best thing would be to ask the driver to drive to the police station, because there would be an officer in charge in that police station, and tell him we are 14 and your officer is telling us here we are overloaded. Are you getting me? These are very practical things, because how would we resolve the puzzle?
Let's take that further. You go to the police station, you claim that we're 14, we're not overloaded, and the officer in charge says, I'm not releasing you. You have to give us something. What then?
Yeah, you don't give. Excuse me.
So then you go to court.
Excuse me. I have more than 100 cases where police officers have demanded bribes, and they have reported these matters to Integrity Center, and officers have been arrested. Can we see more of this? Because many a times,
That
Madam,
is clear. I'm asking you, I'm taking your example further, which is you go to the police station, the police officer in charge wants a bribe, basically, or you're going to court, or you sleep in the cells. What do you do then? Do you go to court and say that I'm here because...
If he wants a bribe, it's very good, thank you. The officer wants a bribe. Tell him, wait, let me call my brother to look for this bribe. Call your brother, send your brother to Integrity Center. Let him bring the money and let the officer be arrested. Because, you see, the IG is not there. Owino is not there. Let us be people who... Let us not be a naive community. We have other institutions that can resolve this problem.
Mechanism. That even the matatu will not go there, because not only will they... People be arrested, but the matatu itself will be detained. They move away from there. That thing we call a soup, police soup, which is the routine in every police station, every place. At night at 11 o'clock, when the bars are supposed to be closed, people close bars there. They come out of the bar. They find a police vehicle.
Outside?
Outside the bar on the roadside. There's two people, wherever they are, after 11 o'clock. There is no curfew in this country. They do what you are saying, you soup, because they cannot get home. You are put in the police station, you say, you told us that you release them the following day. That is not what happens. What happens is that you may be released the same night if you can cough money. The following day, you may sleep there. If they probably, even if they release you, they will not enter in the book.
In the occurrence book.
They will not enter anyway. You may be released, but why? Why were you taken in the first place?
Number one, I can tell you even now, when you go out in this town, you'll find bar owners have closed people in rooms. And you take it here. The moment
we're talking about the police, not bar owners. We're talking about you.
But it is us. It is us vis-a-vis the people we have arrested. I'm also giving you examples. I'm not denying that our people don't arrest arbitrarily. I'm not denying that. We have cases where our people... Yes, we have cases where we have arrested arbitrarily. I'm admitting that. But I'm also telling you, we have cases. Even my cousins call me. They have been drinking in a bar at 1, at 2. The bar owner has closed the door. The police officers come. These people are put in the vehicles and they are taken to the police station. The following day, my own cousin or my own brother calls me and tells me, nilishikwa arbitrarily. I go to the police station and I establish they were in a bar at midnight or at 1. So we have many cases where Kenyans themselves are breaking the law, and when they are caught in it, they want to run away from it. But that does not mean that we don't have incidences where police officers are arresting people arbitrarily. And individual cases must be treated individually.
We are not accepting that police soups are there at night in almost every station in Kenya.
I've not said we are not accepting. We have sometimes cases, a number of cases, where people have been killed, people have been mugged, walking home.
Okay, our viewers have some suggestions for you, which is, there's this one says, Owino, be serious. Give us a hotline, give us a number to report, come up with hotlines to report bribery and investigate, come up with a body to monitor police bribery. And there's one who says, hi, the Kenya police should just be taken to Rwanda for benchmarking. I've just come from Rwanda, and touts don't throw notes on the road for them to pick up. And that's Jairus, who was in Kakamega. And so you're defending your people, your officers. You say that you cannot condemn them, but unfortunately our viewers feel that they're not getting any sort of reassurances from you, because you came here wanting to restore public confidence in the police service. You came here wanting to stop the alarmist tendencies that you say you're hearing from human rights activists. But listening to you speak, it doesn't seem as if you're succeeding.
I think you are condemning me unfairly, because you are putting me in a situation where I sit with you in a studio, problems I raised and I solve them here. It's not practical. I'm a very practical man. Leave about policeman. I'm a very, very practical man. And Kenyans all over can tell you, those who have come to my office, those who have called me, that I follow my cases Whether it is with director of CID, whether it is with IG, I'm one man who follows his cases. Refer these people to me. Those people who feel offended, let them come. We'll try and solve the problems as much as possible.
How do they find you?
They'll find me at police headquarters. My office is open. Try and bring people even 10 times. They'll give you a report. But just a minute.
From there.
Yes, there are suggestions.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute. What I'm saying, Woodward, is that as a community, as a society, we must introspect ourselves, first of all, before we condemn the police blanketly. We are not giving police easy time as a country. Our social fabric is rotten as a nation. We are doing very many bad things as a country, not as a police, and the police are coming from there. And we don't want to admit it, Udak. You must admit that we are rotten, because we are still the same country where Mutegi comes from his home with a vehicle, knowing very well it has no insurance, goes to the road and calls me as his cousin to ask me to ask that officer to leave him. I get calls every day. People who are overspeeding in Salga calling us, asking us, please help. Every day when police is doing their work. I must say, police is trying their level best. And I must say, Kenyans must join hands with us so that we sort out this mess of this country. You are aware, you cannot hide under the table and say that we are a good community. We are a rotten community. When you talk about Rwanda, Rwanda is being run autocratically. And that is why those things are happening. You must admit that. We are in a democratic country. Kenya, the democratic space is so wide that your child who is 18 wants to go for a disco and does not even want to tell you where he's going or where she is going, and says that you are cruel because you are trying to follow up where she is. So let us stop being naive as a nation. We join hands with the police. The police cannot work in exclusion. These people should come to us. And I can tell you, majority of these people complaining, why are we getting into matatus which are full? We are giving policemen opportunity to demand bribes from us. And when policemen demand bribes, don't give them bribes. Report them to Integrity Center. They'll be arrested. Don't give them. Let us first of all be disciplined as a nation. Say, I'm going to sacrifice. Let every Kenyan say, I'm going to sacrifice. You've arrested me? Yes. You want me to stay in the police station until midday? Yes. Every Kenyan tomorrow, let us wake up and say, we are not giving bribe to any policeman, and any policeman asking for bribes, we are reporting him to Integrity Center and he will be arrested. Because integrity, the anti-corruption, the ethics and anti-corruption is not Kenya Police, is not IG. If there are other institutions that are supposed to monitor us.
Okay, and one of your suggestions for joining hands and to deal with the, to address the naivety, you said, was to take pictures if somebody comes to arrest you.
Yes.
And one of our viewers says, morning Cheche, take notice that policemen will never allow you to take photos of them when they're arresting your brother. If they find you trying to do it, they will arrest you. Take your phone or camera by force, and to make matters worse, they'll charge you on account that you were trying to prevent them from discharging their duties.
Yes. What I'm saying, let the whole estate come out and let the police charge the whole estate. You see, there are things that demand a sacrifice. You know, let me tell you, it wasn't easy to make this country a multi-party democracy. Some people sacrificed for it. So don't be naive. Don't sit there and allow your policemen to be rogues and you just allow them to walk at the police on a crown. We want to see action also from members of the public against the police. Where the let them arrest all of you if that is what they want to do, because we must sacrifice. You see, we cannot condemn an individual sitting in his office who is also overwhelmed, and we have created opportunities. The law, the Constitution has created serious opportunities. I've had a situation where I worked just recently when I left police headquarters, where I was providing justice, ensuring that persons who have been displaced from their farms are returned. Politicians came on arms against me, and some naive police officers listened to them. And I said, can any man face me? Let those people resettle. And they resettled. I'm a proud man that the people I resettled in Jora are still there, and they're on their farm, after they had not settled for over 4 years. So what I'm saying is, the problems we are facing as police, I've personally faced problems with politicians and individuals. And very few people have that strength to do that. And that is why the public must support us.
There is one person who says nice things, though. Given that there's been a lot of criticism, let's hear from this person. Thank you, Bono Wino. I have come across very good officers. My child was kidnapped, but officers helped me to the end. I paid nothing. God bless those who are faithful.
Yes, but what you must understand, every day we do good things. But many a times, the good things you do will never be said. But just make one single mistake today. Let it be that tomorrow you are found in a parking somewhere. It will go all over. Nobody will think about the good work you have been doing here to educate Kenyans. So we are also facing those situations. We are facing those situations.
That's a very interesting example.
No. We have to be very practical. Let me tell you, every day you get a lot of peace sleeping and waking up in the morning. You don't know how much the policemen toil at night.
By the way, Mr. Wino, let me agree. I mean, the police do a lot of good things. There is no doubt about it. You know, somebody said one day let the police not be on duty, and you see what country we have, whether we have human beings or animals. So that's true. The police are doing a great job. We appreciate them. But we want to eliminate the bad apples and practices that really, small though they are, they really tarnish the image of the police.
I agree with you.
And a suggestion was put in there by one of the viewers about hotlines, means by which people can actually report the deviant police actions.
For your
hotline, and quick response mechanisms when people find there is injustice.
Excuse me, for your information. Yesterday I had a meeting with some members of the U.S. Embassy, and I was discussing is what we call responsiveness. How fast can police respond to a distress? And we have cases where sometimes you can call a police station and you find the officers have unhooked the line and they are sleeping. You see, and we have those kind of cases. Or an officer picks the phone, he receives, but he does not act. Or he's willing to act, but he cannot easily reach that place because of one reason or another. Are you getting me? Maybe he's in a post, there are few, there are just 3 or 4, and maybe it is risky to go to that particular place or something. So what happens is we need to come up with better systems. I suggested one time that we would come up with, let's say, lines in more busy police stations, and come up with lines like if you go to US, they have 911. That is for crime, but we have 411 for information. Because also, when we used to have 999, somebody just calls the line to abuse the police. Somebody just engages the line. It's just, you know, those weird things. So we come up with systems, because of the new technology. We can come up with systems. Number one, when we call the police, the line, it records. So that if tomorrow you complain to me as the commander that you called, you see, like now you can call me and tell me, truly it is true, you called and the person never responded. And then now I have no evidence. You are very bitter that I'm not taking action against my officer. Like those people who are arrested by the roadside, maybe going home. I cannot be able maybe to play the exact situation that it was at that particular time. And truly you have been offended, but I have no evidence. So even in communication, we wanted to come up with a system where these calls can be recorded. And then from there, after it has been received, where does it go? So that we promote accountability. What is our major problem? Is promoting
that is happening. You should borrow that practice from Kenya Power and Lighting. There is no point in this country you see there's a power outage and you call KPLC and they cannot tell you what it is. They'll tell you either a transformer has blown up, we are replacing it, expect power at 6 o'clock, or that complaint is already here, your reference number is this. You know, so that people can actually track complaints and the police can be held accountable. And those systems should not be, I mean, they need to be in our face. I'm sure the police can publicize this more on our TV, on our radio stations, or newspapers. At least let the number be known.
I want
that here is where you can put your complaint.
I want to assure you
that
within a few months, because
what do you mean by a few months? Can we say what, next month, by the end of the year?
Much of the fine. Let me put it at the end of the year, because much of the systems that we want to put in place require procurements, requires acceptance and so on. But what I've seen with the current commanders I have, is that they are listening. The IG listens to us. The DIG police listens and discusses quite a lot with us. And as a person in charge of communication in Kenya Police, I'm sure that within a very short time we are going to have come up with systems within my docket. You know, I've been a deputy spokesman, and at one time I was acting, and I'm now a spokesperson. I'm not acting. I'm not deputy. Just Mutegi. And my DIG is committed. She has assured me that every facility that I want will be given. I can assure you within a very short time you'll see some improvement. And also we want engagements. Amimo, don't wait for me to come to the studio. If there are issues, please talk to us so that we improve. I don't want to come here and you bash me. I'm a very ambitious person. I told you I just don't want to end up being a policeman. So I don't want to live here with a bad image.
Police environment, working environment.
Yes.
Mutegi, let's come to that after the break, because I think you're coming into the conditions of service. So let's address that after the break. This is Cheche. We're live on Citizen TV and we'll be back shortly.